How's it going? I'm at my cousin's house right now, and he's a cop, so yeah, of course he's not here. Um, and it's about to be 12, so I can't um call anybody because everybody's really asleep. So I'm quarantining at his house, but I can still read my speech that I have prepared. Okay, so I wanted to start my speech off with. Washington has involved themselves in every aspect of our lives over the last several years. And there's a deadlock that's in Washington, and nothing is getting done. Meanwhile, everyone is arguing. I see it there in Washington. And there's a way to cut this controlling giant down and bring about change in Washington. Policy I am going to propose is going to be the one that will hopefully help all other policies changes get done and give us another reason on why America is the greatest country of all time. Um, so our problem is almost every American, no matter the political party, can agree that Washington, the government, the federal government, has become too big and holds too much power. And to think about anything you do, from driving your car, mowing the lawn, buying groceries, education, jobs, anything, the government always has our hand on our shoulder, and our health too. And in 1965, Washington was worth about $761 billion. In 2016, it accumulated 5 times as much, reaching $3.5 trillion. If the government spent only the money it collected in taxes, it would be one thing, but it always spends more, and this is why we're over $20 trillion in debt now. So I think the cause can be the United States uh, government has a two-party system where half of Congress are Democrats and the other half are Republicans. So the nation is pretty much split into two sides. As a result, senators and congressmen in Washington don't ever agree with each other because they fear of giving any power to either side. So to either party, changing Washington from the inside would be impossible. They spend most of their time in Congress just fighting with each other, campaigning for the next election. And once a congressman is elected, um, uh, or once they finally get into office, they're rarely voted out. Um, so they stay in Washington for like the rest of their lives and don't get anything done. So I think the solution can be we can thank the founding fathers for their wisdom that founded this country, for the wisdom to have foreseen the future and given us a solution to our problems that we have today. They wrote into the Constitution a way to repair Washington from the outside as the people. Article 5 in the Constitution states the Congress, whenever two-thirds of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendments to this Constitution. All 27 amendments we have now started this way. Congress proposed them, at least three-fourths of the states ratified them. It says Congress, on the application of the legislature of two-thirds of all states, shall call a convention of purposing amendments to the U.S. Constitution, proposing amendments that will set up term limits for the U.S. representatives and senators. Hopefully, will encourage them to get more work done while they are in office. For this is for this to become a reality, 34 out of our 50 states now have to call for the Convention of States. So far, 15 of the states have signed the application, and 8 of the states have signed off in one of the chambers, and another 14 states are considering signing this application as well. And almost 2 million Americans have signed the petition to call for a convention of states. Um, and once a convention of states is convened, they can propose a constitutional amendment that would set up term limits for all politicians. 38 states would have to ratify that amendment. And I believe my conclusion would be many Americans are fearful that our two-party system has become a stalemate in the federal government, or has led to a stalemate. Career politicians spend their life days, well, they spend their days attacking each other, really, um, and spending more than they can take from taxes as well. It seems that things will never change in our country or with our government. But our government was founded by the people and for the people. So it is time for the people to take a stand and enact change by calling a convention of states to force politicians to work hard in their short time in Washington and to really make America great again. Thank you for listening to me. Again, sorry I don't have an audience to clap me on as I